Welcome back to my channel. We are going to be working on this little object. As you guys noticed, I don't have the fillet on the corners just yet. And that is because I wanted to just get this 3D model done and put this video tutorial. I am going to try and make it as short as possible as always. And we'll see how it goes. Okay. So the very first thing that we have to do is that we have to change the units that we have. So far, the way we have a program installed is that by default, it'll come up with inches, pounds, and seconds. And for this problem, we want to have it in millimeters, grams, and seconds. So let's go ahead and change that in there. Next thing is we want to create a sketch, and obviously we want to put in the global variables. Now, yes, of course, you can do this differently. Just adding the dimensions, which it's pretty simple, but I want to emphasize that this example is just going to be to prove how to use global variables. We're gonna do the entire thing with global variables, except for maybe like 2 or 3 dimensions. Other than that, the entire thing is going to be done with global variables. Again, I know some of you guys are gonna be saying, why can't you just put regular measurements? Yes, you can. I'm not saying that you can't. Things that I want you guys all to practice using global variables. So the very first thing that we're going to do is go ahead and go to Tools, Equations, and A, as we know, it's equal to 1.5. Let's go ahead and put it millimeters. Enter. That will open B, and B in this case is going to be 2 units, and that is going to be millimeters as well. Enter, and that will open up C. We know that C is equal to 110 units, millimeters. Enter and select OK. Now I'm going to set up the entire thing first. So the very first thing that I'm going to do is going to make a rectangle, corner rectangle that is, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to grab the smart dimensions, letter F to center it, and I want this to be 12. So in order to use the global variables, I'm just going to enter equal. Global variables, I know that the entire length is 12. So I'm going to start with the very first one that they give us, which is B, divided by 2, plus, open quotation marks, A, close it up. I also need to take into account that I have plus B. Okay, I'm going to put that. And then plus A. And then enter. And once I input this, I should get a dimension of 6. Okay. I know, again, I said this is 12. In order to fix this, I'm going to put a parenthesis in here, and I'm going to close it up, and I'm going to multiply by 2, and check mark. So see, that length right there is 12. Now, I need to put that over here as well. I want to save a little bit of time, so what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to get it, Control copy, which is Control C, and I am going to put that dimension and just end. So Control V to paste that equation, check mark, and we end up with 12 by 12. Okay, letter F to center it. So this is what we end up with. Another thing that we're given is a rectangle in the middle. So I'm going to put a rectangle in here. I'm going to place it over here as well. And I know you are all going to say as well, can we just do 1/4 of this shape and then just mirror the entire thing? Yes, you can. But again, it's just a matter of wanting to practice global variables. I know that this right here is B. So I'm going to put equal global variables B. Okay. and check mark. I'm gonna put over here as well. Equals global variable b check mark. Same thing. Equal global variables b check mark equals global variables b enter check mark. Now we know that the entire thing is 12, and we're taking away 2, which is going to leave us with 5. And like I said, that's going to be one of the very few instances in which we are going to put a dimension without global variable. So I'm just going to put it as 5. I'll put this as 5. You know, I could have actually had just include a global variable of 5 if I wanted to. Maybe letter D, make that equal 5. That's fine. The other thing that I need to do is that this length right here, I know that's A. So I'm going to go here, equal global variables, A, check mark. Same thing over here, equals A, global variables A, check mark. Same thing, equals global variables A, check mark, equals global variables A, check mark. Okay, good. Next thing is that I want to create a, let me trim this out before I forget. So I actually want to trim this since I'm not going to need it. Trim that out, trim that section right there, that section right there. I think it's better to do that since it, gives you a little bit of a better visual of where we're going. So now I am going to put a rectangle. Let's place a rectangle, and there's going to be the other case in which I am going to use just regular measurements without any global variables. And again, that is because this is not defined, so I want to make that as 0. Distance from there to there, 0. Distance from here to this section as 0. Distance from this edge to that edge, and I want that to be 0. And from here to here is 0. Okay. Good. Let me now put the circle. We have a circle right at the center. And the dimensions for this one is obviously b, which is going to be equal global variables b, check mark. Okay. This is now actually I can put this right in the center from here to there, and I am going to use the previous equation, but I don't need the 2. Would it do without the parentheses? Yeah. Okay. And that's the distance from here to here. I also need the distance from here to the top. And Control V. Now, if you're wondering where did I get this, I got it from this original over here. Okay. I could have gone over here, and I could have just copied this small portion only. All right, still the same thing. So now that that's centered, I'm gonna need a another cut in here. Okay, and in order to accomplish that, I am going to put a 3-point corner rectangle. Now the way that this is going to work is that I'm gonna place it. Don't put it in the middle because it'll be constrained and it's going to be hard to move it. Either you have to get rid of some relations that you create, or just restart the whole rectangle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place it here. I'm gonna place it somewhere over here, and I'm just gonna It doesn't matter how big it is. We're gonna put the smart dimensions. I want this to be a, so equal global variables a, and enter, check mark. Now notice that this is not centered just yet. So next thing that we need to do is we need to make sure that it is a 45-degree angle. So I'm gonna select this line, I'm gonna select that one, and I want that to be at 45-degree angle. If I wanted to double check, I can select this, I can select this line, and it is at 45-degree angle. Now, measurements from here to here has to be 0.75, 0.75. And if I wanted to double check, you don't have to do it, but if I wanted to double check, I'll select this line, I'll select that, and yep, 0.75. Okay. Now I need the very last thing, in this case, which is I'm gonna start trimming things out, but I need to make sure that I have a section here in the middle. So I'm gonna put in this case I'm gonna put a center rectangle, and I'm gonna just go ahead and place it in there, and that I am going to have it be, let me see, that is going to be 5. So this one I'm just going to can I make the 5? Probably I can't. I'm just gonna place the 5 as it is. So I want that to be 5, and I want this to be 5. Okay. Oh, I forgot. I need to also do a center rectangle. I mean, a 3-point corner rectangle in this case. Again, I know you guys are going to say, "Hey, can we just mirror this entire thing?" Yes, you can, but I want to just let me place that again. From here to here, and it doesn't matter how big it is, okay? And that is going to be equal to global variables and a, check mark, and I am going to do the same thing. Some of this one looks a bit bigger. From here to here, I want that to be 45 degrees, and that it does look way bigger than the other one. And from here to that, I want that to be 0.75. Why does it look that big? Oh, because I place a different relation, and the dimension that I want is this one here. So I'm gonna have equal global variables 1.5, check mark. There you go. That makes more sense. Actually, let me just double check that it is at 45 degrees. Yes, it is. And yeah, so that looks pretty good to me. Now I can start trimming things out, but I think that let me approach this in a different way, since I know things that I need to extrude, and let me, if not, I'll just go back and start extruding or deleting some of those lines. So let's go to features, extrude the boss, and I want in this section, I want that, no, not the entire thing. Okay, yeah, you know what, I'm just gonna a little hard. I know I'm not confused, you guys. I am going to trim things out. So I know that I need to get rid of this here, that right there. Okay. So that's gonna essentially gonna be the arrows, right? So I don't want that. Nor do I want this line in here. Okay. What else do I not want? I actually don't need this section right here. Okay. And I'll trim this out. I'll trim this out. I'll trim this out. This section right here, I need this section right here. Okay. I also need this entire thing in the middle can essentially go away. What happened? All of this can essentially go away, and this here as well, all of that. And then to get rid of this one, hopefully I didn't make it more complicated than what it's supposed to be. That right there, this section right there, I don't need it as well. Okay. And let's see, that portion, this right there, I need to make that the entire thing. Get rid of that, cut that out. Okay. Okay. So far it looks good. Somehow it feels like I am missing something. Maybe some lines in here. Maybe this center line. But other than that, looks pretty good to me. That's all we need. And I can also put the radius. I now have 36 of them. I can put them in here, but I feel like it's a lot easier if I just extrude this entire thing and I put that. So let's go ahead and do that. So again, make sure you trim everything out just so that you end up with this shape. So extrude boss, and in this case, this is going to equal global variables, and this is going to be 100. Check mark. Okay, and there you go. So you end up with this. And next thing will be to go and check the mass. Oh, we need to edit the material. In this case, we are given that the material is let me see, 661 6061. So I'm gonna go edit material, search 6061. T4 is this one. Apply, close. So the mass right now is not going to be what I have. So the mass that I'm given is 26.79 grams, and I know that's not going to be it, just because again I don't have the fillet. But let's see how close I am. So I will go to evaluate mass properties, and the mass I have is 26.68. Again, it's very close, but just because I have to do all of this in there, so I'm almost done with this. Okay, almost done with this. Yeah, please don't forget to save your progress often. So I think I can do the fillets really quick. I don't want to take up too much time. I think I already did, but I guess we could do that. So the fillet in this case is going to be 0.25. Okay, and essentially you're gonna do that to every single little corner right here they have, and Once you're done, your mass should be the same. And just for the sake of time, I don't know if I'm gonna finish this whole thing, because you can just go in and start selecting all of these edges in there. I think this video has been pretty long already, so I think I'm gonna leave it as that. And you guys can just finish it off. You guys can just go ahead and continue working on this. Okay, so go ahead and do the radius. In this case, you have 36 of them, so you can just go all the way around. And again, once you go to evaluate mass properties, you'll see that you do end up with 26.79. I'm very close to that. I'm like a few decimals away from it. Okay, so I will end the video in here. Again, it has been a very long video, and I will just go ahead and stop. All right, good luck, everyone.